Uh, 7 habits of highly ineffective audio equipment. 1, falling off of the fucking circuit all the time. That brand new mixer, maybe going back to fucking Svitvada. Now, it wasn't, so just an FYI, it's not that the sound wasn't turned on, it's that the sound card, just from time to time, it's like, what if I wasn't fucking turned on? How would you feel about me then? And the answer is not good. I don't feel good about my fucking sound card when it's not turned on. I feel like that's its fucking job, right? To turn itself on and to stay on forever, not to fall off in the middle of the night and start doing crazy shit. But the sound card feels differently. Now you can hear me. I think I'm hearable at this point. So he repeats, I'm highly paranoid right there. I can see audio chats coming through this motherfucker. So hopefully it's the same. Yeah. The entire link just ended for me? Oh, fuck me. Stream finished. Ugh. You fucking... No, it's not made for kids. Oh. It's fucking infuriating right there. Alright, so I can now see my dumb head buying an ounce of mushrooms. I'm sure that will make your life much better. This should be fixed. Let's take a look and see if it is. Yeah. Oh no, it's not fucking live. Oh, I made a new link. Ugh. That's fucking beyond irritating. Yeah. I can't believe that's a pain in the ass right there. I mean, the nice thing is that fucking some of these you can just cancel. There we go. Lord have mercy. No, so yeah, like a sequence of things went wrong right there. Okay, should now be fixed. All right, yeah. So a bunch of things went wrong, and all right. Okay, so yeah, now I see your chats. You're on the correct stream. Now we can begin. So this is RAPAXORIS by Zach ZYZ. This is our 22nd day of working on this novel. We have made it through 60 pages. Good God. So chapter 1.9, RAPAXORIS. Days of rowing left their mark. Skin burned and peeled, blisters burst, and calluses formed. The river flowed on forever, indifferent to their labor. It took constant effort to make progress on the Rakar. To stop rowing was to be swept backward. When the journey began on the gray quay, Fish had eyed Rigel's scrawny arms and wondered if he was up to the task. And wondered if the boy was up to the task. To his surprise, Fish found he was the one struggling to keep pace. We get a little pronoun confusion there. Oh. That's very easy to fix right there. To his surprise, Fish was the one struggling to keep pace. His ancient joints griped and groaned with every dip of the oar, but he pushed on anyway. To his surprise, Fish was the one struggling to keep pace. His ancient joints griped and groaned with every dip of the oar. Fish pushed on anyway, unwilling to let a child outrow him. Rigel was relentless. He must have thought Fish would whip him if he slowed. Like yoked oryx, pride and fear pulled them upriver. So you could, I thought about this last night. You could have you plowing them up the river. So we can take out oryx. Yeah. They plowed upriver, yoked together by pride and fear. That's better. Like yoked oryx, I don't like similes in general. I'd much rather do like a metaphor. Yoked oryx. I'd totally love to devour some extinct cattle. Yeah, back then they laid eggs too. That's how you get the oryx yolk. Thus far, Fish's canoe and his companion. So far, Fish had been pleased with his choices, both companion and canoe. Their boat was a reefer's canoe. Yeah, that's better. Their canoe was a reefer's boat. I just wanted to call it a reefer boat. I think it sounds cool. Yeah, cue the Tom Waits. All right, so easy. Side of toast, burgers and fries. You're all gonna die. Their canoe was a reefer's boat. Yeah. Their boat was a reefer. Stitch whale hide. Their boat was a reefer's canoe, stitched whale hide stretched over a chuskia frame and impregnated with gale gum. Reefers were strong enough for open seas and light enough to be carried across the shoals. Reefers were strong enough for open seas, yet light enough to be carried across the shoals to the deep pools where the most elusive fish hid. Fish had worried her bottom would be torn out in the rapids, but she'd held up admirably. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we wanted to include today his struggle to remember things, conservation of food. Potentially he might have like a sleepless night. Yeah, there we go. Testing, can you read me? Yes, I can see your chats. Yeah, I can see it right there. Oh, excuse me, just want to see, and let me see if there's a difference between the live feed. Yeah, I just said that RX over easy, and then excuse me. Let me see, where's our live feed at? Yeah, the live feed seems okay. Ugh, that's a secondary ripple. You have like a technical issue, and then people will like immediately. I wonder if somebody's fucking moving shit around in here late at night, or if there's like rats running over my console and nibbling at fucking wires or something. That's some paranoid thought for you right there. Okay, so now we just need to remember this shit. Yeah, just the stream restarted like 5 different fucking times. You can't see myself is all. What do you mean, can't see yourself? So I can see that chat that just popped up. But then, yeah, then it just appeared directly overhead. Sick of myself when I look at you. I had the fucking window scroll too low. Wah, 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 wah. It's always something like that. Oh. Mr. Mute Video Mandingo. Yeah, I mean, that's literally, it's just, I'm having issues with the brand new mixer, where it has to just be unplugged and the whole fucking thing restarted. But some might say that a day of, just a really, like, wretched day of just eating pizza and playing video games and getting fat might have had a role there. We'll have to tell. So I might, at some point today, write up some book reviews for Zeros. So one of the things that I desperately need is book reviews on like every single book that I've got out. And finally, I'm just going to have to write some of my own as like a style guide and try to get them in there. I'm going to look into, Readsy has a program where you can pay for reviews, basically. It's just, to get a book off of the ground, you need about 50 to 100 reviews onto it. And I don't have 50 to 100 friends that will do a book review for me. I don't have 5 friends that will do a book review for me, honestly. So Shy Lo-Fi says, "Good morning. I'm also writing a fantasy novel." Well, good luck with that. Um, you may be daunted if you watch this stream because progress is quite slow. We're at 61 of 701 pages, and we have a long way to go. But if you look through the YouTube channel for this, you can see an example of probably like 4 or 5 other novels that I've completed. So we do actually finish these. I've been working on it for years. So I wanted the Electric Lady one. The windows weren't loading for all the others. What? Are you using some kind of like crazy fucking browser? So the you can just download the ebooks for the first 5. They're just there. You can also just get them on Amazon, which would help me out a lot. The other part of it is that Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady is not available right now. I'm trying to sell it to a publisher, so I can't just put the ebook up. And it's not formatted for ebook yet. We finished that edit last year in like November or whatever there. And then we went into editing Zeros. But yeah, you can see the entire book in another editing stream, but obviously that's not the funnest way to read a book there. So, fantasy novel that you've been working on for years. All right, in 2 sentences, what makes your novel interesting? Why would I want to read it as somebody who enjoys the concept of fantasy? And I immediately won't read it if it has like anthropomorphic fox creatures. What else won't I won't read it if it has like gunpowder in it. Yeah, you would probably like Arcanus. Arcanus is like very cute. So when I'm checking who likes what, I keep an idea of what books women like and what books men like. Because usually they're pretty different, and it's hard to find a book that both agree on, like this is a good book. And women seem to like, women and men alike seem to like Arcanist. But yeah, you can just download Arcanist. The EPUB is on the front of the site. Just throw it on a reader. Check it out. Or if you love me very much, you can order a copy on Amazon and leave a review if you like it. Anyhow, well, I haven't gotten the elevator pitch for Shy Lo-Fi's book, so we're gonna start. I don't know about love yet, but I do make your balls ache. Wow, phantom ball ache. I know that feeling. So at dusk has a comma, as all time-related clauses do, as far as I know. I need logic to spot the commas. My forte is dramatic words. Well, I will tell you this: the reader, outside of 2% of people who care about grammar, literally like 2% of people on the earth that care. Like you don't even have to have periods in this book; it just be a mash of words together. And 98% of people on this earth wouldn't care about it, but the 2% that do would let you know about it so fucking much that it would just overwhelm any other feedback that you got. Like fucking grammar nerds. They make us all go along with their gimmick because they're so vociferous in their hate for any deviation from their rigid structure. But dramatic words are just always amazing. Everybody loves those. So you made the right choice. Yeah, grammar not honestly, a lot of the world, a lot of the world is programmed by sticklers. Really and truly, they have tremendous power in some ways. Um, yeah. Oh, what's up, Abby J? Hell yeah. All right, so it's focused on two character perspectives where the female is sent to a place with a complicated past. The male, second perspective, is part of an army, and he finds out that his friend is an endangered race that uses supernatural abilities. And then, LOL, it's hard to explain in two sentences. Absolutely not. You can explain the Bible in two sentences. It's like, Moses made God mad, but Jesus says it's okay now. Done. Bible done. What software am I using? Scrivener? No, this is just Pages, and then everything's running through OBS, and the vocal chain is more interesting. It's got like a whole DSP running on there and so forth. But yeah, I've said this before, but this could be Notepad. It's really all the same. So yeah, like I can see right away that you're gonna need a little help, like tuning up your thing. So just in terms of getting people interested in your story, uh, you can look at like the generalizations there, like female sent to a place with a complicated past. Like as a listener, what do I make out of that? A place with a complicated past. Like the immediately my mind is like linking to like Mallrats, where he's like, yeah, it's gonna do her in a very uncomfortable place. So it's not getting you where you want to go. And then I would only like also like focus on like the female male part of it too. If you're doing something interesting with gender, like Left Hand of Darkness, and generally like the gender of in an elevator pitch, like the gender of the characters do not matter. So the interesting part is that the friend is an endangered race that uses supernatural abilities. Those are things that people are interested in. Like you can look at like the title of a movie like Last of the Mohicans, and we're like immediately interested in anything that's the last of something. And then the phrase like supernatural abilities right there doesn't like conjure or whatever. Like if they can catch shit on fire with their mind, we have like a specific name for every type: pyrokinesis, flight, levitation, incredible stank. So yeah, like you can just tune that up, focusing on the specifics of like certain archetypes people will always find interesting, like the last of something, or a special power, or something like that somebody has. So like yeah. The most difficult part of something is to take like the vast volume of stuff that's in your head and distill it down into a hook where the other person is like, huh, well, I want to know what the hell's going on like that. Like for my book, Lemon Maybe and the Electric Lady, I say like, yeah, a bunch of regular people at a dive bar in Hell's Kitchen all get superpowers, and within 7 days they destroy all of Manhattan. That's the pitch right there. If you want to read that fucking book, I can't do anything because that's fantastic. last of their land. Yeah, I mean, it was also unsolicited advice right there. But if you're going to spend years working on something, at the end of the day, you want somebody besides your mom to read it. I've definitely had books where, like, my mom is like the number one review. Oh, I'm no expert or whatever. Um, but yeah, that'll help tremendously. How does this story start? So, the YouTube has a link. Here, let me just get the. Hopefully, this will broadcast over to Twitch. So, this is a pasteman that has a chapter by chapter synopsis of the story. Essentially, this is a story of a bunch of adventurers chasing a thief into a legendary dungeon, and inside they have to make all kinds of shady deals with demons and demigods and what have you in an effort to escape the legendary RAPAXORIS. Uh, it's got like a little bit of dark humor, but it's mostly it's like a dungeon crawler, really and truly. Once we get into it, it's going to be a lot like Death Trap Dungeon, or I always forget the other, but there were some Warhammer novels like Felix and Gore something or other that I really enjoyed, and I loved all the old original Conan stories where he's like, God, the one where he was in the city of the Lotus Eaters. That was crazy. Tragic hook. All right, what do we got here? At dusk, they hauled their little boat onto the bank and made camp in the shadow of a ruined tower. Yeah. hmm What is Pastebin? So Pastebin is a URL for people to paste bits of text. Um, if you haven't visited before, it's generally like a safe URL to visit. You can just Google Pastebin and you'll see that it's a reputable site. And I'm like very leery of clicking people's links and so forth. But basically, it is a site for pasting blocks of text in things like I can't just dump 10,000 words into the buffer of a Twitch chat. So you just put it on a pastebin and then share the link. Yeah, Big Ian Livingstone. I love that. But yeah, you can take my word for it or not. It's all the same. Uh, at dusk, they hauled their little boat onto the bank and made camp in the shadow of a ruined tower. Mm-hmm. At dusk, they hauled their little boat onto the bank and made camp in the shadow of a ruined tower. Yeah, yeah, this is a little bit hokey right there. I want a big logic. Mm. You can just call it a tower. Can be a spire, like the tower itself. You can call it a spire. Spire can also refer to a specific part of a tower, I believe. Let's take a look at this word, because this is a spot where I could easily be wrong. Spire. I like the words. Slay the Spire is a good game, by the way. You should play it. Stalk or stem of a plant, a young shoot, tall grasses, a sharper tapering point, a tapering structure built on a roof or tower, spire of the church, tuberfuse. Yeah, so it looks like use of spire for tower is probably incorrect usage on my part. I will concede the point. Let's see. Here we go. So we do keep a leaderboard here. Bam, big 35. You're right. Mm-hmm. Here, let's see. Oh, I like this. Cagwith Cove. Yeah. Yeah. You hear that sound? What the fuck was that? I have some music equipment coming in the mail. So, yeah, I also love, I love every time I have like the impulse to like, is that word right or whatever? I love that we can just go to Wiktionary and take a gander at it. And like a lot of the time, I'll find that my usage is wrong. I'm only like 50-50 on being right about these. Mm-hmm. When was the last time we used Rakar? Mm-hmm. Rocky and craggy. Mm-hmm. Even within like just big blocks of ocean, um, there are like 20 different seas, right? Even in the Mediterranean, they have the Aegean Sea and the like they have many different seas within a large Mediterranean type block. So, um, and since it's not salt water either, which is like a difficult part of the whole thing. It's all fresh water. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, let's take a look at. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, I'm gonna give you that point. I think you're just right there. Boom. Up, up, up. 49. Cement that lead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're always in a valley since they're in a river. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like the land grew rougher. OpenC change. I don't. Refers were strong enough for OpenC. No, no, we don't need a definite article there. It doesn't make sense without it. Refers were strong enough for the OpenC. I tell you what we need. Yeah. Reefers were strong enough for open sea, yet light enough to be carried across shoals to the deep pools where the most illicit. We can get rid of a bunch of definite articles. To deep pools where the most elusive fish. Yeah, so we just indefinize all those things. Indefinize is not a word there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I forget the name of this mountain range. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the land rose as they climbed the Rakar. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, they won't on Earth. Yeah. But, blah, 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 blah. The land rose as they climbed the Rakar. Mm-hmm. The land rose on either side as they climbed the Rakar. In the Solcaries Valley, there were stretches of tall crags, where the river roved through painted canyons. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Let's make up a word here for the mountain range that the RAPAXORIS is in. Ba-ba-ba. Fuck this. Oh, I like that. Deomore.
Deorumori.
I like Oblivia. No, I can't call them foot soldiers. Mm-hmm. So, let me see there. Frank Herbert learned Arabic for Dune. He didn't learn it well. Let me see. No. Ew. This is why I don't write landscape description in my first pass or story. I just don't think about it for the most part. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of mythology surrounding Dune. Like, and I've heard very different things from people who knew Herbert, um, as compared to like what I've actually. It's just like a little bit shrouded in myth. I wonder if there's like a book about like the writing of Dune. The land rose on either side as they climbed the Rakar. Yeah. The landscape shit. Mm-hmm. I like that. Um, Quest for Fire, my two favorite caveman movies. Oh shit, I definitely may have yanked it to Clan of the Cave Bear once or twice right there. Um, let's see. Girls, don't make it a girl. Girls are gay. Hmm. As they made progress up the Bakar, the valley bared its teeth. Yeah. I don't want to do faces because the reader may confuse them with like actual faces. Bass faces. That's terrible. Hmm. I like the Guano Streak bluffs chattering with Ness. Ugh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do get taller. Mm-hmm. I want something more thesaurus. Mm-hmm. Tranquil. I like that better. Can we say that we're older than time? Mm-hmm. As they made progress up the Rakar, the valley bared its teeth. They rode past towering crags, guano-streaked bluffs overgrown with chattering nests. Oh, that's too much. The road. No, they can't be vine covered. I like older than time, but I don't think you can do it. And we're ancient beyond measure. I like that. Yep, that's right. Boom. Okay. Mm-hmm. Nope. Change her teeth to... Oh, its teeth. I did take your suggestion on that. Let me give you your point. Boom. Boom. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right that there's no... Gender there is useless. Gender in general is useless. Just don't give a shit. It doesn't matter what hole you got. We're all going to get fucked. What do we got there? As the pair made progress up the Rakar, the valley bared its teeth. They rode past towering crags, guano-streaked bluffs that chattered with nests, and tranquil stretches where the river wove through painted... I like that. I really like Ancient Beyond Measure. To me, that we're trying to get into like a foreboding stretch, right? Which I think like the landscape does not reflect on the approach to the Rapaxorus. But these guys are making a terrible fucking mistake, right? And I want to highlight that a little bit with our description of the landscape. The trees were taller here, the forests were darker. I like that. What do we got? We got Big Spathy Wah. Bearing Teeth is so 2019. It's bare ass or succumb. No, I don't want bared its teeth at them. It's too anthropomorphic. As the pair made progress up the Rakar, the valley bared its teeth. They rode past towering crags, guano-streaked bluffs that chattered with nest, and tranquil stretches of canyon that were ancient beyond measure. And through tranquil canyons, ancient beyond measure. The trees were taller here, the forests darker. Mm-hmm. Cool. I like, See how difficult it is to get, like, even, like, a little passage of landscape description? Which you don't want to overdo either. People fucking hate landscape description. But it needs to be there. Yeah. As the pair made progress up the Rakar, the valley bared its teeth. They rode past towering crags, beneath guano-streaked bluffs chattering with nests, and through tranquil canyons, ancient beyond measure. The trees were taller here, the forests were darker. All around them were the songs of strange birds, and in the distance, Unseen beast lowed in the distance. Nah, I don't like in the distance. Far away, they could hear the lowing of unseen beasts. I wonder how I would call it. The topless tower. mm, let's take a look at the trees were taller here, and the forests were darker. There we go. That fixes that. That's easy peasy. Fucking boom. Let's see. They took shower. Yeah. As dusk approached, they found a shattered stone tower, overgrown with vermilion creepers. As dusk approached, they found a shattered stone tower, overgrown with vermilion creepers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we go into earlier about how their boat is like light and it's meant to be carried and so forth. And that boat is like their lifeline. They're not gonna leave it like tied up on the river where it could like get blown away or whatever. Then they'd be stranded in the middle of the wilderness. So I think it's reasonable. Hillock would be a small hill. You know what I want is yeah, I like that a little bit better. As dusk approached, they found a shattered stone watchtower rising from an island at the center of the river. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I like it. Yeah. It was nothing. You found no danger. No, they have never hidden their tracks throughout here, but still, like I would definitely like take shelter in an island, stronghold, especially if you're like hearing strange shit going in the background. Even though this progress is like kind of slow, I'm very very happy with some of the changes that we're making right here. This is good. Because I mean, a big part of when I read through my books, I really, really skimp on the setting frequently, and like for fantasy, you just can't do that. The reader needs to know where you're at and what is happening. So generally, like I have to do this writing during a rewrite. Because like when I'm thinking, like I'm thinking about action, 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 characters, like crazy shit, and not giving due to the places where things need to be. All right. Fish drew his sword. No one had been here in a century. I like that. Fish drew his sword, and Rigel clutched his dagger. And Rigel clutched the nobleman's dagger, but there was no need. No one had been here in a century. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They set up camp inside and watched the stars come out through the missing roof. Mm-hmm. Gaping holes in the rune structure. We try not to use. I like that. So who gets that point? I'm gonna give that to Milkness right there. That's like very cozy right there. I like that. They set up camp inside, watching sparks from their fire drift up to greet the first stars. And what the fuck was that? I just heard a like some sound. I wonder if I have a fucking. I'll have to check that out or whatever. You guys could hear that, right? There's like a mulching kind of sound. I've heard that a couple of times, and I wonder if there's like a tab, like of a security camera or something like that, or what the fuck that is. Because it ain't me. It ain't me making that noise. No, I do like the in the firelight. The boy wanted to hear some spiel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like a few times that evening. Later, Fish saw Rigel glance across the fire at him, an expectant look on his face. Mm-hmm. Whew. As they ventured farther north. All right, I like this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that. When he failed to recall, there was a sense of theft, as if his pocket had been picked. That's super important to the narrative right there. I really like how that goes. The absence of memory dug at him. Uh, So I want to say that he was bothered with it. I don't think dug at him is quite there. Mm-hmm. I like the phrase "the absence of memory." Um, as they ventured farther north, his memories grew scattered and sparse. Mm-hmm. Dug at him. I like disconcerted. The absence of memory disconcerted Fish. When he failed to recall, there was a sense of theft, as if his pocket had been picked. Really fucking like that. That's great. Like, even if that's the only line that we get all day, that does it for me. Cool. And that was one of the things that I wanted out of this whole chapter. I wanted to highlight the fallibility of his memory, and that's going to be something that we weave in all throughout the narrative. Strange New Land has stolen something from him. Yeah, I like that. I don't think he got any accepted edits there. Did Let me know if I took something that you. I did. I think we did take Across the Fire, so I'm gonna give you one for that. 'Cause that was useful. Yeah, that's not better. I do like the flickering light. Yeah, and some of these are super useful there. Later. Okay, so this is. But she'd held up admirably. As the pair made progress up the Rakar, the valley bared its teeth. They rode past towering crags, beneath guano-streaked bluffs chattering with nests, and through tranquil canyons, ancient beyond measure. The trees were taller here, and the forests were darker. All around them were the songs of strange birds. Far away, far in the distance, they could hear the lowing of unseen beasts. As dusk approached, they found a shattered stone watchtower rising from an island at the center of the river. They hid their canoe in the brush and climbed up to explore. Fish drew his sword and Rigel clutched the nobleman's dagger, but there was no need. It looked like no one had been here in a century. They set up camp inside, watching sparks from their fire drift up to greet the first stars. Later, Fish saw Rigel glance across the fire at him, an expectant look on his face. The boy wanted to hear some spiel of the ones who'd built this tower, an account of the battles fought in its shadow. Or an account of the battles fought in its shadow. The fish had nothing for him. He could not remember this tower at all. As they ventured farther north, his memories grew scattered and sparse. The absence of memory disconcerted Fish. The absence of memory disconcerted Fish. When he failed to recall, there was a sense of theft, as if his pocket had been picked. Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, much better. I think broadheads can be one word. Uh, it's like a yeah. It's yeah. Intended to kill prey by causing severe bleeding. Yeah. Yeah. He slept poorly, feeling he lost something vital. Mm-hmm. The next morning, Fish rose before the boy and got his bow and quiver of broadheads from the canoe. He'd been careful to conserve their food, supplementing with fish and forage wherever they could. Yeah, there we go. I like fetched right there. Yeah, again, like a really good spot where like an active verb is much better. Boom. The next morning, Fish rose before the boy and fetched his bow and quiver of broadheads from the canoe. He'd been careful to conserve their food. Yeah. The next morning, Fish rose before the boy and fetched his bow and a quiver of... Yeah. The next morning, Fish rose before the boy and fetched his bow and quiver from the canoe. He could not remember how far they had to go, so he conserved their food carefully and supplemented with... Mm-hmm. So I like fetch the bow, but um, with fish and forage. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that is better. Yeah, I don't like that structure. Mm-hmm. Fish could not remember how far they had left to go. Yeah, so if you think about it, so we have to make this change here. Previously, this scene took place on the riverbank, but now we've changed it so that they're an island at the center of the river, so he has to take the canoe with him. Okay, what's our time at? 9:13. Oh, that's a cute message. Okay, well, I should call a stop to this. So good progress on this thus far. Let's see what we got to there. So we went back to 9:15, and really. So we got 361 words. Day 22. Yeah, I started early today. Data's done. 2:00 exactly. Yep. And 362. So slow, but slow and steady. Even though not tremendous progress here, very very happy with the progress right here. What people have said previously is like the chase up the river is one of their favorite parts of this book. It hits on like some like, oh, we're going on an adventure and a camping trip and so forth, and we lose that thread a little bit later. So I really want to work this part strong and then move on up. So happy with it. Day 20 was big. A lot of days are big. Oh, that's where we took the entire chapter that we've been like fucking working on for a week and said that we did it all in one day, but it took like 7 days. So progress is slow, but hopefully I'll wake up a little bit earlier tomorrow, and or honestly, it's a Saturday, so I can write longer. All right, well, thank you for everybody for tuning in. Shoutouts to Big Napalm Dreaming for buying some Lemon Maybe shirts, and I'll see what I can do in terms of like if you wind up reading some of the other books and so forth, I can let you read the arc of that before it is published. All right, later. Adios, Logic. Everybody have a good Friday, and we got the other show tonight. Hell yeah.